Hey everyone, welcome back to a new session. In this session, we are setting up the backend for our StudyTube web app. So first of all, open your terminal. Before we start, make sure you have Node.js installed on your computer. I'm assuming you do. To check, run this command node -v. This will show you the exact version of the Node.js installed. If you get an error, that means something went wrong with the installation, so we'll need to fix it. Alright, let's create a new directory. Let's name it whatever you want to. And then navigate to that directory and run this command npm init. So what this npm init does, this will initialize a new Node.js project. You can also do this manually by creating a package.json file, but npm init makes it way easier. So it will ask for details like the package name, the version, description, entry point, and few other things. Feel free to skip them if you want to. You can change them in package.json file later on. Once they're done, open the project in the VS Code and we are ready to roll. Okay, so now we have our project open in VS Code. Let's have a look at the package.json file that we got from there. So this will have a name, its version, description that we provided. If you haven't provided, so it will be empty. The entry point, which is index.js for it, some scripts. You can add scripts like dev, which is used for npm run dev, and you can provide the script like node src/index.js. But it is the src is the main folder where all of our components will be there, like the index.js or any other files. Whatever we are doing, we'll do in the src folder. So we are just running that file. This is the dev script that we are using here. Another thing you can use is type module. It will allow to use import statements, like some modern ways to import modules from one file to another. Now let's get into index.js file. First of all, let's create a app using express. Const app is equal to express, and then just do a normal app.listen on some port, that would be 777, and a console log of server is listening on port 77. It's the classic way. Let me write it. Yeah. Oh. Now let me run npm install express mongoose.env and bunch of other files that we will need. Node1. I'll let you know what this Node1 does. Okay, now let's understand the folder structure, how we are going to organize our files and the code. So for that, let's have a look at this. First of all, we have controllers, in which we have admin controller, auth controller, database controller, teacher controller, and user controller. We'll learn about them in a while. There is no code written in it, they are just empty files. This is just how we are going to organize our code. It is much more readable and very structured. Now let's move to the next one. We have library, or lib you can call it as, which we have cloud.js, db.js, utils.js, and others. Middlewares we have, where we are using middleware. In models we have bunch of models that we are going to use. And then we have routes, where all the route files are there. Admin routes, auth routes, teacher routes, user routes, or some other in the future if there will be. Now let's have a look at the package.json. Here you see in dev we are using nodemon src/index.js. Now what this nodemon does, it will track any changes in the backend. If there any change occur, it will restart the server. If we are using just normal node index.js, it will not restart the server, it will just crash for once. And using nodemon, we are just forcing it to restart whenever a new change occurs. So it will help us to allow restarting our servers by default without any user intervention. Now let's run this server, start the server using npm run dev. Don't worry about the rest of the code. There is nothing to do with it. We are just calling the ping API that we have built there. Let's have a look at the ping API. It just returns the response with the message pong. So no need to worry about the rest of the code. Our server is started. You see here node starting node src slash index.js. So node is keeping a track, watching the path. If change occurs, then it will just go over there and restart the server. You notice we got the message something like MongoDB connected with some cluster shared and something written on it. So where does that come from? Here is the function of connectDB. In this function, we are just importing the Mongos and trying to connect with the DB key that we have stored in the env file, and then logging the message if the MongoDB connected, otherwise the error. So the message we got in the terminal that MongoDB connected came from here. So what's the benefit of this file is we can use it multiple times if we want to. We have exported it from here. We can use it in index.js file or any other file if we want to. And we don't need to write that code again and again. We can use just connectdb import from there. Now let's have a look at the another config file which is for cloud storage. So here we are using Cloudinary. Here we are also just importing v2 as Cloudinary, which is used for uploading media over there. And we are providing our cloud name, API key and API secret, and that's all. Now we can use this Cloudinary in our APIs, in our controllers. Alright, let's wrap up this backend setup session here. We covered how to connect to the server, how to set up the database, integrate cloud storage, and bunch of other stuff. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll make sure to answer them. Also, this is the folder structure and config setup I recommend. It keeps things more organized and readable. You don't have to follow it exactly, but it's always a good practice. In the next session, we'll start creating APIs and testing them. That's all for this video. See you in the next session. Till then, keep learning. Bye bye.